amendment.
Representative Eskamani, you're recognized to explain your amendment.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. So, members, folks might not know this, but when there is an emergency declaration, it actually completely upends the competitive bidding requirements. And so I do feel like one of the reasons why this is being moved to EMS under a state of emergency is to help avoid that and to allow money to be routed to political allies. And in an effort to prevent that from happening, all this amendment does is it prohibits the Division of Emergency Management from contracting with former clients or business partners of a person employed by the executive office of the governor. And it's a warranted amendment because this already happened. That's the amendment, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Eskamani, having explained her amendment, the floor is open for questions. Any questions of Representative Eskamani? Any questions? Representative Joseph, you have a question. You're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I've been seeing stuff on the news, but I haven't been following. What is going on with the people or the entities that are receiving funds or have received funds under the prior version of this program that we're repealing today?
Representative Eskamani, you're recognized.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. So I appreciate this question because it can provide more context. So, in case folks don't know this, when this program was, first created with the last fiscal year, we saw activities take place within the office of the governor that I think anybody would understand is problematic. And what took place was Larry Keefe, the governor's public safety czar, secretly coached a former client on how to get this asylum-seeking trafficking program via the Department of Transportation. Now, I don't have all the receipts, and neither does Representative Snyder, but I do think it's problematic that money gets shifted towards a friend of the governor's office. And to that point, Keefe communicated with the CEO of this contractor known as Vitrol Systems Company using a secret email address. We'll get to that one later. But it's just not okay. It's super problematic to use public money to award your allies. And unfortunately, this is not something that just happens with one political party. States that have Democratic control, it's going to happen in those situations too. We have gift bans and lobbying bans to kind of hold us to a higher ethical standard. So I'm just asking for there to be higher ethical standards in implementation of this program. Thanks for the question.
Questions, Representative Eskamani. Other questions regarding Representative Eskamani's amendment? Seeing no further questions, are there any amendments on the desk?
None on the desk, Mr. Speaker.
Any other amendments on the desk?
None on the desk, Mr. Speaker.
All right. Any debate? Any debate? Floor is open for debate. Representative Eskamani, you're welcome to close on your amendment.
I'll waive close, Mr. Speaker. Vote yes for government ethics and accountability.
That's not a waive. That's not a waive. That is a close. Representative Eskamani, having closed on her debate, members, all those in support of Representative Eskamani's amendment, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Nay. Members, by your vote, show the amendment failed. Are there any other amendments on the desk?
On the desk, Mr. Speaker.
Read the next one.
Representative Eskamani offered the following amendment with title amendment, barcode 370283, remove line 46 and insert an amendment.
Representative Eskamani, you're recognized to explain your amendment.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. I say this amendment for the floor because I think it's important to, again, highlight just some of the grifting that has taken place with this program. You might read this amendment and think, wow, Representative Eskamani must be a movie buff or really like the novel Silence of the Lambs. I do not. I can barely remember a thing from that movie. But what I do know is the details I just provided by Larry Keefe. He communicated to a contractor trying to siphon this money over to his friend using a personal email address that was named after the character Clarice from this movie book. And so I integrate it because this literally happened. It's not a joke. People are using personal email addresses to push contracts towards their friends. And candidly, it's a lot harder for anyone to do a public records request when you're using private emails like that. And I think we can all agree that if public money is being spent on a program, let's at least keep it on the public servers so it's more transparent and accountable and it doesn't become a money-making operation for individuals affiliated with political offices. That is the amendment, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Representative Eskamani, having explained her amendment, are there questions of the sponsor? Are there questions of the sponsor? Are there any amendments to the amendment?
None on the desk, Mr.
Any
Speaker.
substitute amendments?
None on the desk, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah, we'll open for debate. We're now open for debate on Representative Eskamani's amendment. Any debate? Seeing no debate, Representative Joseph, you have the floor for a question for Representative Eskamani.
For a debate.
Oh, no, we haven't opened debate yet. This was
I
for
thought
questions. You want to debate now? Go ahead, you can debate. You can debate. Yes, ma'am. Representative Joseph, you're recognized for debate on Representative Eskamani's amendment.
Thank you, Representative Eskamani, for your amendment. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You know, we go through this process kind of like real fast sometimes. And I know a lot of us don't want to be here on both sides of this aisle. That's fine. But we're here. And I think it's important for us to take our duties seriously. Her amendment should not be something we even need to consider. Silence of the Lambs, a character from that. Do y'all remember that movie? Some of y'all are too young. But it's not a pleasant movie. And to say that you have somebody using state funds, operating under color of law, to literally go and take advantage of people, that is problematic. Setting aside the corruption issues identified in Representative Eskamani's prior bill, is this what we want to rubber stamp? Is this what we want to condone? I know and have had very good conversations with members of this body, front rows and back rows. And I believe a lot of us have integrity. I believe a lot of us value the position that we have the privilege of having and serving in right now. And we really need to take that seriously. When you have people playing games with people's lives, regardless of whether you fall on this debate to the extent it's a debate about these people who were targeted in the last stunt, this is not okay. And we should not say it's okay. So I appreciate Representative Eskamani's efforts in highlighting this, because it's not okay. And we don't want to send the message, and we should not be sending the message that it's fine, because somebody asked us to just go ahead and do a legislative pardon on what was already done. We have the power of the purse.
You want to debate?
We should exercise it with responsibility. Thank you.
Thank you. Representative Fernandez-Barquin, you're recognized for debate. You wave?
I wave.
He waves out. Representative Eskamani, are you closing or are you debating? All right, if there's no other debate, Representative Eskamani is going to close on a barcode 370283, her latest amendment. Representative Eskamani, you have the floor.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. And I want to say thank you to Representative Joseph for really centering us on why this matters. And I do ask my colleagues to put yourself in the reverse situation if you can. That if it was, for example, a Democratic governor that was coaching a member of their team to personally send emails of contract language, or I should say proposal language, to a friend that was then cut and paste into the proposal that got the funding, that you would be like, whoa, that's not okay, right? It's not okay for there to be individuals in political places that are coaching and picking favoritism with contracts. And it's definitely not okay when that's happening in a space where the lack of transparency allows it to get worse and worse and worse. And we have the opportunity with this to change that, to say, all right, if this program is going to exist, let's at least ensure that the communications are on public lines and public servers. And we're also not, creating a mockery of this situation. It is very serious. And these are serial killer novels. It's just super weird to begin with. And we're just asking for some transparency here to practice good government, to say that let's make the bidding process one that is transparent, competitive, and let's ensure that we're not siphoning money to our friends in a manner that, again, if it was the reverse, y'all would tell us that's inappropriate. And so I like to think there's consensus when it comes to just good governance and ethics and transparency, that this is a proposal that we can all get behind. And so with that, I close. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Representative Eskamani. Having closed on your amendment, barcode 370283, members show your support by saying yay. Yay. All those opposed to this amendment say nay. Nay. Members, by your vote, show that the amendment does not pass.